I'm developing BeeTycoon, a business simulation game similar to the original Transport Tycoon by Chris Sawyer, and I'm planning on documenting the whole process. The original game was an isometric masterpiece of game design and programming. It was created by a single person and the code was written in assembly. To this day, it's still one of my favorite games. The game is still around, with an official mobile update a few years back, as well as a community-developed and maintained open-source version called OpenTTD, which is based on the improved version of the original game, Transport Tycoon Deluxe. So far, I've managed to implement the following: a random terrain generator based on Perlin noise with custom controls for the steepness and for the actual height, and number of terrain steps between the lowest and highest point. A-star pathfinding for the bee. I'm not sure, however, if this is the way to go, because I haven't decided yet whether the bee will be controlled by giving it a start and end point like the ships and airplanes in Transport Tycoon, or by manually defining its path, like the trains for example. Some basic camera controls like zoom, pan and rotate. I've created a few assets to test the scene, different types of trees, flowers, a beehive, all made in Blender, as well as a very simple animation for the bee created directly into Unity. Most importantly for any prototype, I've spent a few hours implementing and tweaking to perfection a post-processing stack for the rendering engine. I've added forest ambient sounds, which I found to be extremely relaxing during debugging, and I will add those to every game I'll make in the future regardless of the genre. I started this project initially just to learn about working with 3D inside Unity, as I've only developed 2D games so far. Some of the games I made include Mars Rover and Waveform, two games created for the GMDK Game Jam in 2020 and 2021. If you want to play them, you can find links in the description below. I've also made a more polished game called Hold On, which I've published on both Android and iOS a few years back. Unfortunately, it's no longer available since I need to update it, and I haven't had the time nor interest to maintain it. But more details on that game in a different devlog if anyone's interested. Moving forward, I plan to document the whole development process. I need to go back a step and figure out the actual game design. And part of doing these devlogs is so that I can get your input, so please feel free to suggest things in the comments below. Here's the list of what I've come up with so far. The main mechanic will be delivering pollen from the flowers to the beehive, and then selling the honey that's being produced there. There will be different types of flowers, which will yield different types of honey, meaning cheaper or more expensive. You will also need different types of bees in order to harvest from different flowers. At some point, maybe you will augment the bees with mechanical prosthetics in order to make them able to carry more weight faster and be more productive. The flowers will have a life cycle, so you'll need to take that into account as well. Groups of flowers that aren't pollinated will likely die out the next season. The more expensive the honey you produce is, the faster the beehive will grow and develop, allowing for more updates and obviously more bees. As far as challenges, I'm thinking of a combination between the business simulation type, meaning competing against rival beehives for the same resources maybe, and natural enemies such as bears stealing honey or wasps attacking the bees. I don't want this game to become a real-time strategy game, so I will need to come up with a different mechanic for these. So the next step for me is describing the game design in more detail and trying to implement a bare-bones system in order to test it and see how fun and engaging it is. That will be in the next video. I plan for BeeTycoon to be a desktop game. Thank you for watching, I'll see you in the next one.